Dear 2023, where should I start? You started off with promise. Although I didn't take the time to intentionally sit and reflect on 2022 and really think about what I wanted for 2023, I did set some goals and had high hopes. Really, my only focus was to hit my goal weight. I was sick and tired of yo-yoing. Along with that, I was ready to get my YouTube channel going again, along with my other social media platforms. I weighed in, took my measurements, took photos, and set up a plan to put into motion. I struggled a bit to get my footing with changes in my schedule I was just not used to. I tried different approaches to where my week started and ended, when I meal prepped, and when I grocery shopped and reset for the week. I set weekly goals and intended on checking in on YouTube quarterly my goals. But somehow I lost myself. I stopped focusing on what brought me joy, and I was only concerned about pleasing others and putting them above me. This led to my mental health sliding, along with halfway working on my goals and eventually sliding off track and giving in to urges and binging. This is when I completely stopped doing what made me happy, and YouTube came to an end. I struggled for the majority of the year to get my head up out of the water. I ended up gaining half the weight I lost and just giving up on myself. Finally, I started to see the light. I started to focus on myself again, and I started to work on the weight loss. Eventually, I came back to YouTube in the fall, ready to face everyone and admit to my failures. But along with the embarrassment came hope. I started to feel like myself again, because I was doing something I loved. My content creation was consistent again, and my weight loss followed suit. And now, here I am, the end of 2023, and although I'm not where I wanted to be, the future is promising. Let's reflect on 2023. Hi guys, it's Heather here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my channel is all about my journey to lose 80 pounds with a little bit of lifestyle peppered in between. So today's video is the final video of 2023, and we are going to do a quick year in review. And I say quick because it was a very uneventful and not so great of a year. I really debated on making this video just because I don't really have much to say for 2023, but I'm taking my own advice. If you haven't watched my 2020 New Year's series, I will point you in that direction. I made lots of great videos in there with lots of tips and tricks and all of that, so make sure to go check that out. But like I said, I am taking my own advice from that video and trying to find the good in 2023. Even though not much happened, it was really boring and stagnant, and I didn't really hit any of the goals that I made for myself. I'd probably say that 2023 was really just a year of surviving. I was looking back on the videos that I made because I was still making videos in the beginning of the year, and I sort of set some goals. I remember making that video, actually. I was watching it. It might look like I had my stuff together, but I literally had nothing together at that time. I didn't really go through my review. Goals that I set were really just half-assed. That's one thing I say, is how you spend your time getting ready for the year is how the year is gonna go. So if it's half-assed, your year is gonna be half-assed, and that's pretty much how my year went. I'm just a believer in setting some time aside and intentionally thinking about the year before and setting some goals and, putting something together for yourself. How we go about doing it is going to set the tone for the next year. Something a little different I'm trying this year is I am kind of thinking back and thinking of some words that I can use to describe 2023. I will preface this with saying that they are not very positive words. Some words I thought of are surviving, stagnant, unfulfilling, people-pleasing, and just uneventful. But another thing I want to take away from my 2020 New Year series videos is that now this doesn't mean that we should get down on ourselves when we don't have a perfect year. We all go through seasons of life that may be just boring or mundane. And I think it's even more important to reflect on those years and find the good, find the lesson. That's a season of our life, and it's a chapter of our life. I am now closing that chapter of that part of my life, and I'm hoping that 2024 will be much better. Now I want to go over my hits and misses of the year. I am gonna start off with some hits. I don't really have anything other than weight loss to talk about because I really didn't set any goals other than weight loss goals. I really don't recommend that, setting your goals around one thing, and in this particular case, I set my goals around my physical appearance for 2023, and maybe that was my downfall. It wasn't just, you know, half-assing my goal setting and not really being intentional about setting my goals for 2023, but also really just focusing in on only one part of my life. We are not just two-dimensional individuals. We are multifaceted. We have so many things about us that are more than just our physical appearance. And so I really recommend setting goals that are not just about how you look. But this is what I did in 2023. I didn't have great hits when it comes to weight loss. I started 2023 strong. I had some goals set. I wanted to get to my goal weight just like every other year, but it didn't happen. My weight loss was both a hit and a miss, but it was mostly a miss. I will kind of go over some of the better things that happened as far as that goes. I did lose a few pounds in the beginning of the year. After I gained about 10 pounds in the end of 2022, I kind of slid off track there. However, after I lost those 10 pounds, I ended up gaining 15 pounds. So it's just been kind of a yo-yo this past year or so. If you've been following my journey, you kind of know that I lost about 50 pounds on this journey. And then over the course of the last 2 years, I've just slowly gained about half of it back. I'm currently on the downward trend and I'm going back into where I was before I gained the 25 pounds, but I've got a little ways to go. However, I did not completely slide off track, so I'm going to count that as a hit because I could have completely gone off track and be back at 203 pounds, which is my highest weight ever. So I am happy with that. I caught myself and I'm sticking to my guns and found a new routine and all that, so I think that's a hit. Kind of piggybacking off of that, I did get back into my habits like I mentioned. I got back into habit tracking probably in around September, October, fall time. I really started tracking. I got that habit tracker on my fridge and that's really been helping. I've really been able to track my habits and I've been successful at that. I've been successfully resetting every month, setting goals, and checking in every month with you guys. So that's something that's definitely on the upward trend again. And with that, I had mentioned when I came back to YouTube in the fall that my clothes were not fitting anymore. I had gotten down to a size 10 when I lost 50 pounds, and then my clothes started getting really snug and I couldn't wear the pants that I used to wear. I had no pants to wear for a while. I had to use my hair tie to tie around the button on my pants because I couldn't button them. So that was a little hard, but I am getting back into the pants and actually they're starting to get loose again. Even though I'm not down to the weight that I was, that just goes to show this heavy weight training that I've been doing is really helping with that, losing the inches and getting back into my size 10 jeans. And then along with getting back on track with weight loss, getting back into YouTube is what helped. I have gotten back into consistently posting again. That's another hit for me. I have gotten over 700 subscribers now. I was stuck for a really long time, probably a year ago now, in the 600 range. I could not get out of it because I took a year off and it just really ruined the algorithm and my channel, I guess you could say. And I was just stuck for a long time, but I'm finally getting back into the swing of things as far as getting more subscribers. I know it's not all about the numbers, but that is going to be one of my goals that I'll touch on in my next video in this series, is a YouTube goal of mine. So hitting over 700 subscribers is really great and I am really excited about that. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed recently and to all of you who have stuck around for this yo-yo of a journey this has been. I know there are a lot of successful weight loss YouTubers out there who have lost the weight and they're great to look up to, but I don't see a lot of YouTubers who, you know, stick to it and really try to show the ups and the downs, not just the ups, and show the entire journey. This journey can get really long and it can get really tiring and it can get really boring, and when you're a viewer of that, it's really hard to watch someone struggle. It's hard not to put your opinion on it either, and I completely understand that. It's hard to see someone and think, God, why can't they get their shit together? What is wrong with them? It's not that hard, but we all have our own little demons that we work through, and we all have our own little things that are harder than it might be for some others. So I really do appreciate those of you who have stuck with me for the long haul and have really supported me throughout this entire journey, not just when I've been losing weight. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Now I'm gonna get into my misses. I kind of already went over them because my my hits were kind of misses too. I really didn't set any goals other than weight loss, like I mentioned. At the beginning of the year, I did want to check in quarterly with you guys, tell you how I'm doing, how much weight I lost and inches I lost and all of that, and I didn't really do it. Yeah, I only made it through February and I stopped filming, so I didn't even check in. I didn't do even 1 quarter check-in, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, that was one of my misses and I did not even attempt it, I guess. And then I kind of already went over a lot of these with my hits, but I just stopped filming altogether in the spring and I just stopped doing things that I enjoy. I stopped caring about anything that I like to do, and then I think that's when everything just went off track for me. We really need to find things that bring us joy and make sure we make time for those things. It can't always be the hustle and bustle of everyday life and only focusing on that or just trying to survive. I really think that this journey of life is about finding what we love to do and making that a part of our lives in our everyday life. And I really failed at that this year. Now I'm gonna do a little reflecting on my misses. Again, if you want to see my New Year series from 2020, I kind of go over my process of what I do at the end of the year. I'm not going to go over that in this video. So if you wanted to see those videos, I'll leave a link to that video up above and also in the description box. It's only like 3 or 4 videos, so not very long. But I go over my tips and tricks and my process of what I do every single year. Reflections on my misses. One question that I ask myself is, what mistakes did I make that taught me something? I think the bottom line and what it all comes down to for 2023 was that I just stopped focusing on myself. And like I said, I just kind of survived until I got back on track in the fall. Just went through the day-to-day life and didn't really focus on things that I enjoyed. I wasn't focusing on myself. I was focusing on other people way too much. I put all of my time and effort into people pleasing, and you know, that's something that I have always done, but I feel like I've really done that to the max this year. So that's definitely something that I can reflect on and think about and kind of learn from that and make it different going forward. Another question I like to ask when reflecting is, how can I make my mistakes valuable? My mistakes were focusing on others, I guess. To make it valuable, I learned that I need to focus on myself. Otherwise, I am going to have these kind of years that I had, and I'm not going to have great things happen. I'm not going to have anything to look back on that really stands out, and it's just going to be another mundane chapter that I add to my book. It's definitely something that I want to work on, like I said, going forward, and trying to tell myself that it's not selfish to put me in front of others. It's actually the opposite, because we all hear that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, and I really want to focus on pouring into my own cup before I pour into others. And then the last question I ask myself is, what am I willing to let go of? And I think it's kind of self-explanatory what I've already talked about, but one thing is, you know, putting others first and people pleasing. At the end of the day, it's us that we need to live with day in and day out. If we're not putting ourselves first or worrying about pleasing other people, we're not going to be happy. Yeah, those are the things that I'm willing to let go of. So because my year was so uneventful, I really don't have much more to talk about. From all of these things that I've talked about, I'm sure you can guess what my goals and what my word of the year is going to be for next year, but it's not going to be in this video. I am going to be posting another video, a bonus video. It will be my 2024 goals, my word of the year, and we'll be making a vision board. So look forward to that. This year really wasn't the greatest, but I am going to make 2024 my year. I'm looking forward to the possibilities for 2024. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.